Hey guys, so I haven't done these in a while, mainly because I honestly haven't had the chance to play all that much the past month, but I am trying to get back into things and start playing more, especially with the new ban list in effect. I'll be showing you a replay with commentary against Dogmatika, Invoked, and Virtual World, showing one where I lost and another where I won. So let's just start with the deck list. Now I heard that Cyber Dragons finished in top 16 at the most recent Remote Duel Extravaganza hosted by Konami, 7th as a matter of fact, piloted by Manuel Lilly, which is absolutely amazing. Now at the time of recording this video, his list was not out yet, but once it does become available, I'll post that link in the video description below because I'm sure we're all excited to see that list and learn from it, including myself. Anyways, let's just quickly go over my card choices for this session, and this list isn't final for this format of course, it's going to be a learning process as I change things with more playtesting. I would say my main notable changes are that I do main deck some back row hate now, such as the 2 Cyclones and the Feather Duster. We have a lot of control decks in the top right now, so I figured they were worthwhile. And for Noble, took a big hit without Smoke Grenade. It meant that we could play fewer hand traps again, and now I can play cards like Fragrant Droplet again. Now on the flip side, we have to be really considerate of VFD because of Virtual World, so I do play the 2 Cybernetic Overflows in the main now, which is, I find, very good against Virtual World. And to combat Virtual World and VFD, some options here. So Nibiru is something that could just potentially stop them from making VFD entirely, but if they do get out VFD and the Choosh setup, some options to go with, first, having droplets with any of the 4 traps to discard so they cannot respond with Choosh when you negate the VFD, or other options include imperming or dropletting the VFD and then they chain the trap, and then you can chain with Cosmic Cyclone on the trap. Not a huge percentage of pulling those options off, but it's still something, and these cards can provide a lot of utility against other decks as well. In the side, I do play Droll for that Drytron matchup, but good against Dogmatika Invoked as well, and Dragon Link seems to float around here and there still, at least online. I'm also trying out the 1 Alpha on the side as an extra going second option against certain decks. The rest I think are pretty much the same as before, so let's just get straight into the replay. Alright, so this first replay is against Dogmatika Invoked Shaddoll. And so we are going second, and we open Nibiru. So at this point I didn't know what he was playing, but we do know that Nibiru is just not a good card against that deck, and doesn't look like he opened very well, so he just sets 2 and passes. So okay, I'm going to start off with the core and try to search, but it does get met with an Ash. I go into Almirage because now I'm trying to go for that Dragoon play by bringing out Anaconda, although with the 2 set back row, was pretty sure that was not going to actually resolve, but there's not much else I could do. So I do go into Anaconda, and he does play the punishment, and now I know he's playing Dogmatika, and he's going to send the Ash Dragon and get rid of my Anaconda. So I'm just going to set my Imperm and the Overflow, and just pass turn here, and then phase he is going to use Ash Dragon, and I do Ash that. And so it looks like he just is not drawing well, and he passes turn right away. I draw the emergency, which is great, so I'm just going to add back a core and just try to search, but he does a pretty smart play here, playing Call by the Grave, banishing my other core in the grave. That way it negates my core until the end of the next turn. So I'm just going to poke for 400 and pass turn here. He's going to set 1. And I guess he's just passing again. And I draw another Nibiru. 2 dead cards against this matchup. Just going for the core beatdown play. Just 18 more turns and I win. And so we are going to pass turn, and he does rip off the Nadir Servant. So he's going to send the App Cologne, add that Ecclesia, and with App Cologne, he's gonna essentially, adds this beast and then sends it to grave. So with beast, he's gonna draw 1. With Ecclesia, he is gonna try to search, but I do release him from that, and he's gonna just walk over my core with the Ecclesia. So sets another one and passes. Droplet, not that great. I'm gonna try to banish the core to special from deck, but it is met by Solemn Strike. So I'm just gonna set that droplet and pass turn, and now it's his turn to just kind of do a beatdown. So I take the 1500, pass his turn. It's very, very slow and weird game here. So I'm just going to set my Hertz. He rips another Nadir Servant, and he's going to send the Entis and adds the Maximus. And with Entis, he's going to pop my set, which is the Hertz, so I get to add the Cyber Dragon from deck to hand. And he's going to banish the Entis, special the Maximus, and then use Maximus effects, sending Entis and Mechaba. And I'm going to send Nova and then Phoenix, because I know I wasn't going to have enough resources going to Phoenix this turn. And he's gonna pop my set with the Entis. So with Nova, I do at least get to bring out my Mechaba, but unfortunately he has the punishment, so he's gonna get rid of it. He also gets to send the Construct, And then he's gonna summon the Ashen, which is not something you see too often, but he does get to special it because he the construct was sent, was a fusion monster, it was sent to grave, and with Ashen he gets to add back that punishment from grave. So he's gonna attack for 2000 and then 1500 with Ecclesia. So I'm running pretty low on life, and he's gonna set what I assume to be the punishment. So I at least draw the Cyclone, get rid of that. I'm gonna special the Cyber Dragon. Then I'm gonna attack the Ecclesia with Ashen. It does gain 500 attack, while all of them do. So now Ashen's at 2500 attack. So he's gonna try to attack over it. At this point, I don't really have a choice. I just banish my Hurts to pop it, and he sets 1. So hey, we drew the emergency. So we're gonna activate the emergency, get my core, and let's see if it. Nope, it does not resolve. I don't think I've resolved it once this game. So I at least go into Seeger, enter battle phase, and remember to use that effect before attacking with Seeger, and I pump itself up to 42 and attack over that Maximus. So he just sets 1 and passes. This is turning out to be a really weird game. Use Naxxer. I initially target Nova, and then we quickly realized it was not. It was actually sent through Maximus, so it was not summoned properly. So I actually can't bring back the Nova here, and that was an oversight on my part. Definitely not intentional. So I bring back the Cyber Dragon, and I'm just gonna attack, poke there. And then with Seeger, the main phase 2, I just go into Fortress because I am mindful of my life points. I'm only at 900, and if he attacks over my Naxxer, I'd probably lose. I ideally should have probably actually summoned the Naxxer in defense mode. That way I keep the Cyber Dragon, but hey, looks like he scoops anyways. So on to game 2. We are forced to go second, which is fine because that's what we want to do anyways. And looks like he finally draws his Invoke card. So he's going to activate the Meltdown, add the Alistair, and summon the Alistair and search that Invocation. He's gonna summon out the new Magus' Link, which means they don't have to play Almirage and Secure Gardener anymore, although playing that package still has some utility as well. Anyways, he is going to bring out that Mechaba and just use that Invocation effect to bring back the Alistair. And then he's going to activate Nadir's Servant, and he's going to send the Apcalone, add the Ecclesia. And Apcalone is going to add the Schism to his hand, and he's just dumping it. That's why he just sent to grave there. He's going to special out the Ecclesia, user effect, add the punishment. So he has a very busted opening hand. He's going to bring out the Maximus by banishing the Apcalone, sends the Grista and the Ash Dragon. I send, of course, my Nova and Phoenix. And I try to use Nova, but he does use Call by the Grave on it, so unfortunate. He also gets to add the Schism with the Grista's effect. And then he also has Triple Tactics Talent, and he's going to rip off the Kaiju in my hand. That really hurts. That was something that would really help me play through his board. Lightning Storm is okay. It's better to draw a quick play spell trap removal because you can shotgun it in standby phase, and then he can't use Schism because Schism can only be activated in the main phase. But unfortunately, you know, he's still going to be able to summon out that window. I mean, it gets rid of the punishment, but not looking good here. I can only special summon once. I use Foolish. Generally, you know, if they don't have that window, then this is a good way to just get rid of the Mechaba because you can Fortress it away, but that's already my one special summon for the turn. Try to use Core, of course it's gone. And yeah, I'm just going to fast forward here because there's really not much I can do. I try to use the Nova. He uses Maximus effect again, and he just banishes the Nova with the Mechaba's effect. And he gets also add back the Schism because he did send the Annoyalitis. I really don't know how to pronounce that, but and he gets also draw 1 off of Beast, and he's going to use Triple Tactics Talent again to try to rip a card from my hand. So yep, I do concede there. So for game 3, I do choose to go second and just hope for the best. I draw the Alpha here, not terrible. I thought I'd try it out. And so he's going to start with the Alistair, add the Invocation, summon the Magus' Link, Invocation into Mechaba. Yep, and just gonna add back the Alistair with the Invocation, just the standard play. He opens Ecclesia again, adds a Fleur de Lis, so now he has a monster negate in hand as well, sets 1 and passes. So if he doesn't have the window, this actually kind of works out well, although unfortunately he does have the strike from my Alpha, so that's very unfortunate. I honestly just accept my fate here because even if I summon the core, its effect is mandatory, so he can just banish and negate it with Mechaba, and then I just have nothing else to do. So I'll just, you know, let you see what he ends up doing. So he goes into the Invoke link, uses Invocation, goes into Mekaba, and then uses Invocation again, and brings out Agoides. And then with the Alistair link, he's gonna discard the Phantasma. Interesting that he's playing that right now, and adds the Book of the Law. And he's gonna summon the Fleur-de-Lis, and well, that is game, because he can also boost attack, and yep, that is all she wrote. So I do concede here, and that is a win for my opponent. So let's just move on to the next replay. Alright, so for our final replay, we are going against Virtual World. VFT is definitely very scary to play against. So our opponent is going to start off with the Kaloon and bring out the Chooch and put it on the field. And with Lily, he is going to target the Trap, send a Qinglong from deck, special it, and send the Nyan Nyan. He's going to banish the Qinglong, add the Lulu, and he has to discard. So he's going to discard that driver. He's going to special out the Lulu by sending another Qinglong, and he's going to add the GG to deck. A hand rather. Next, he's going to special out that GG, dump the Chooch, and then Nyan Nyan can come back because he did special level 3. And then he's going to Synchro into Stardust Warrior, gets to draw 1. And then he's going to Synchro 9 into Shen Shen. And then he's going to use Chooch Trap to target the Lily, make it level 9, and then he can go into VFT. So your typical Virtual World setup. So he does not shotgun and stand my face. I really wish I had the Kaiju, but I guess he's very worried about the Gamma. So I'm going to lead off with Foolish, just to kind of bait it out. I don't want to try to invest too much. So I'm going to send the Hertz, and he also lets that go, so he's definitely scared of the Gamma. I'm just going to summon the Core, and he Ashes and then chains VFT, calls Light. If he had the Ash, he could have just Ashed the Gamma, so I don't know, maybe he had some reasons. So I'm just going to set the Imperm and the Overflow, and Overflow is pretty strong against Virtual World, I find. So he's going to start the turn by banishing the Qinglong, add the Lulu, and he has to dump the card, so he's going to dump Foolish Burial Goods. He's going to bring out the Lulu, dump the Qinglong, add the GG. And then he's going to bring out the GG by dumping the Nyan Nyan. Then he synchros into Juju. And then Juju's effect, he's going to banish 2 monsters with the same type or attribute, try to pop my Overflow. And I actually decide to Imperm here because I wanted to save the Overflow till the end for whatever else he might set up. And I decided to take damage here, and you always have to be cognizant of if you're going to have at least 2,000, like more than 2,000 life points, so you can use Anaconda's effect in the subsequent turn. So I do decide to just take it all here because I'm at 3,000 now. And he's going to bring back the Shen Shen by banishing 2 monsters and sets 1 and passes. He gets to add the Lulu because of GG's effect. And on end phase, this is where I do decide to use Overflow. I do have 3 targets, banishing Core, Hertz, and then the Cyber Dragon from hand. Remember, if you're banishing from hand, it does have to be the original Cyber Dragon. So I get to pop 3 cards, so I'm going to pop the Chooch, the VFT, and the third set. Initially, I tell my opponent it only pops and does not banish, but then I quickly forgot that Shen Shen's on the field, so everything does get banished. So for turn, we do draw Droplet. Not bad. So we're going to use Core, use his effect to search, and we're going to go for that Galaxy Soldier Hertz play that we never got to do because of VFT. So we're going to search Hertz off of Emergency, dump the Hertz, Chainlink 1 Hertz, or Chainlink 1 Soldier, Chainlink 2 Hertz, but he is going to use Ghost Spell on the Hertz because Hertz can also add from grave to hand. So we're just going to get the Galaxy Soldier instead. Doesn't really matter. Realistically, all we need to get out is Dragoon. And so we are going to bring out the Dragoon there. And so we are going to pop the Shen Shen with Dragoon. And then I should probably read cards because I forgot that Juju can actually not be he can't be destroyed by battle when he has 2 or more monsters with the same type or attribute. But I do chain Droplet here to negate that effect, so he still does get destroyed and take the damage. And I attack for game there. So that was pretty close, but on to game 2. So he actually makes me go first, which is funny because I actually intentionally want to go first against Virtual World anyways because I'm not taking any chances with VFT. So, and I have a pretty decent hand going first, but unfortunately our Core is met with the Gamma. Looks like he drew the driver though, so that sucks for him. So we're just going to set that Droplet and pass turn. He's going to start the turn with the Pot of Desires. Draw 2. He's going to activate Qinglong, target it with Lulu, special it out by dumping the Nyan Nyan. And then I think he forgot to add with Lulu. Anyways, I guess he normals the Nyan Nyan, brings back another Nyan Nyan from grave. And he's gonna synchro into Stardust. And then Nyan Nyan was banished, so he gets to return a banished card to deck. And then Stardust where you draw one, and then you he's gonna give me the Trish. I mean, I'll take that. No, he meant to go into Vermilion. And I do Nibiru here on the 5th summon. It's unfortunate because he managed to get that level 9 now, which I know means Cloud Castle can come out. But now he's gonna summon out the GG with by dumping the Chooch. And then with Lao Lao, he's gonna dump the Qinglong. And Lao Lao will bring back the Nyan Nyan. And he's gonna go into Cloud Castle here. And so here on the effect, I was thinking whether I should save the droplet until my turn rolled around, but I was worried that he would have the Chooch set up with the VFT and he would work around the droplet. But looking back at it now, he also had the Qinglong engraved that he could search off of another virtual world monster and just kind of continue with the play. So perhaps it wasn't the best. He did have the trap though, and with the hurts that I discarded off droplet, I also got to add back the core, so that was some good synergy there. But he does get to add the Lao Lao with the Qinglong, and with Chooch makes the level 9, and he managed to get the VFD anyway, so that's unfortunate. And he gets to add back to Lulu because of Gigi's effect. So we draw the Cyclone. He does activate VFT's effect, calling light. I try to attack here. Clearly my rust is showing because you can't attack when VFT uses effect, so I just set the Cyclone and pass. He's gonna summon the Lulu, going to Juju. He's gonna use Qinglong's effect, banish the Nyan Nyan, negate the effect of Nibiru, and then with Nyan Nyan it's banished, so he can return back a card that's banished to the deck. And with Juju, he's gonna try to pop the set. I just Cosmic Cyclone, at least the Qinglong away. And he has the Lulu that he's gonna send with Kolu and add the Chooch. He's gonna use VFT's effect again. Use Qinglong to add GG, dump the trap, GG, summon that, dump the Kowloon. He's gonna synchro into Coral Dragon and then overlays into Utopia Beyond, makes my Nibiru 0, and I know that is game. So on to game 3. So of course, like I said earlier, I do intentionally try to go first against Virtual World because VFT is just too scary and too strong. So we're gonna activate the emergency, add the core, use the core, try to search for that ref system because my hand isn't that great. I can't actually get into infinity, so I'm just gonna only bring out Dragoon. I'm gonna try to use the ref system, bring back the core, but he does have another ghost spell that he prevents that, but at least have the repair plan. So unfortunately, I decided that I do have to get rid of that Ash that I wanted to save for next turn to bring out that Naxxter. And then I go into Anaconda, pay to 2,000, and bring out Dragoon. But that summon limit that I always like to side is going to be really powerful here. He activates Cyclone, and I'm going to protect that summon limit with my dear life and negate that with Dragoon. It is at 4,000 attack now. He's going to activate Kowloon, activate the Chooch, and then use Lulu's effect to summon by dumping the Qinglong, and he will add the GG. He's gonna banish the GG, banish the Qinglong, add the Nyan Nyan. These names are just super hard to keep track of. He's gonna dump the Foolish Burial Goods. And now on summon, this is where I activate the summon limit, and this is looking pretty good for me. He's just gonna attack over my Anaconda. It's totally fine. And he just passed his turn, so I draw the Lancer, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna Dragoon, pop both. He takes 31, he's at 39, my Dragoon is at 4,000 because I negated and destroyed that Cyclone the turn before, so it is just enough to go for game, so we do take it there. Alright guys, so that's it for this Cyber Dragon testing session post December 2020 ban list. For you new Cyber Dragon players out there, hope you learned a thing or two. And for you experienced Cyber Dragon players, I'd love to hear how you change your deck for this new format. That's it from me guys, take care.